I have a friend named Thomas Sheedy. He is the founder of an organization called Atheists for Liberty. He is openly conservative, but he's mostly interested in atheist activism and normalizing atheism in all sects, including the conservative movement. He seems to be under the impression that a lot of conservatives, including you, are more hesitant to work with atheist organizations. Is there any truth to that?
Yes and no. I mean, if you're an atheist and you want to be part of the conservative movement, go ahead. But you must be an honest atheist and acknowledge that morality is definitionally subjective without a belief in God. You cannot be an atheist and believe in objective morality. It is an impossibility. And true atheists will acknowledge this. At some point, you have an ought claim. Well, things ought to be a certain way. We as Christians, or we that believe in the divine, we have is claims, that murder is wrong. Whereas an atheist will say, well, murder ought to be wrong, because you can't have an objective definition if there is not a divine eternal power over you. So look, if an atheist wants to fight alongside of us to end abortion or to try and end the massacring of our kids, that's called gender-affirming care, or if an atheist wants to march alongside of us to say no men and female sports, they're more than welcome to be able to do that. But Atheists for Liberty is an interesting phrase, because I don't believe you can have liberty without God, because liberty is not man's idea, it is God's idea. That's just my own personal belief, and it's also the belief of everything that built this nation. But yes, I know a lot of good atheists. The question, though, is how do you know they're good? It's because you're appealing to a moral authority above just the secular material realm, one that is transcendent, we would believe, given by God.
Well, I don't believe in objective morality. I do know there are plenty of atheists who are moral objectivists.
Are you an atheist? Sorry to interrupt. But
oh, yeah.
Okay, cool. So let me just, can I ask you a question? And I know this is your first time at the mic, so I'm just going to try to be tender in doing this.
Okay, appreciate
that. So
you
don't believe in objective morality, right?
I personally don't.
Okay. Was the Holocaust objectively wrong?
Objectively, no, but it would have been better if it didn't happen, because most people wouldn't want that to happen.
So that's where we are on different planets. And that's okay. I'm not trying to make fun of you. I'm trying to be graceful in the way that we're going about this.
Sure.
Do you think Hitler was objectively evil?
No, because it's subjective.
But I just hope all of you guys understand he's being an honest atheist to your credit, because as an atheist, you're not allowed to say anything is objectively right or wrong. I come from a worldview that when you butcher 6 million people, that is objectively wrong no matter what. And it's very important. It's a very important truth claim, because when you do not have objective truth anchoring your society, then it becomes a power struggle. If you do not have truth, then power will reign. Whoever can get the most amount of power then ends up having the most amount of say over society. We believe what is objectively right, true, good, and beautiful should be transcendent over society. Your thoughts?
So do you believe objective morality specifically comes from the Bible?
Yes and no. It's in nature, and the Bible explains nature. So objective morality can be discovered in many different cultures and societies, pointing towards what we believe is the ultimate objective truth, Jesus Christ. C.S. Lewis explained this the best in his book, Abolition of Man, which is that almost every religion talks about a certain way to live, a Tao, or a path that we should be on. And so more simply than just the Bible, we believe in what the founders believed, which is an ethical monotheism, that there is one God. He has a general way that he wants you to live. For example, murdering is bad, kidnapping is wrong, defense of the innocent, and we should do our best to try to live alongside of that path.
Okay, well, I think those are very interesting examples. You bring up the founders, you bring up Hitler, but Hitler was a self-proclaimed Catholic, and he called Nazism a Christian movement.
Yeah, I would be careful saying that. He was not. That's okay.
He called himself a Catholic. He specifically said in 1927, our movement is Christian. They had on the belt buckles God on our side.
Yeah,
they had to swear to the Almighty God. Atheists were not trusted to be in the SS.
Even if I grant you that, despite the fact that he killed a lot of pastors and priests, and there, of course, you can pervert things in the name of God. No one denounces that. Just as a side note, though, far more people died under the banner of atheism than Christianity in the 20th century. Mao was an atheist, Stalin was an atheist, Pol Pot was an atheist. Believing in no God actually led to the destruction and the murder of well over 100 million people. And that's fine. So, again, if atheists want to come alongside us as conservatives and fight for what is good, that is great. But I will never acknowledge that atheists can tell me what is objectively good. They can only give me a preference. They cannot tell me what is right. And preferences eventually will lead you towards moral and societal decline.
Okay, so I think you just listed a bunch of communists, and it's worth acknowledging the vast majority of atheists are not communists, just like the vast majority of Christians are not theocrats who don't support the divine right. It's also worth acknowledging that the founders were actually inspired by Enlightenment values, not by the Bible. America was founded as a secular nation. We were the first, quote-unquote, godless constitution.
Again, I've done this so many times, so I don't know if we want to waste our time doing this, but 55 out of 56 of the signers of the Declaration were Bible-believing, church-attending Christians. 9 out of 13 of the states at the time of ratification required a declaration of faith in order for you to serve in the states. Our birth certificate, which is the Mayflower Compact, said explicitly, we are here to spread Christianity throughout the land. It was the first great revival that led to the American Revolution of Jonathan Edwards and Jonathan Mayhew and George Whitefield that preached all across the eastern seaboard. John Adams famously said the Constitution is written solely for a moral and religious people. It's wholly inadequate for the people of any other. We were a Christian nation that was able to embrace the idea of a free society. God is mentioned 4 times in the Declaration of Independence. Not only that, Jesus Christ is mentioned in the Declaration of Independence, where it says we appeal to the divine judge of the universe, which of course is a direct appeal to Jesus in the book of Revelation. Yes, there were rationalist Enlightenment values that informed some of the founders, but it irrefutably was a Christian nation. Maryland was Catholic. Pennsylvania was Quaker. Almost every state had their own specific type of Christian preference. The idea of an atheist or not believing in any God was an idea that was so foreign to the founders. Even Thomas Jefferson, the great deist, he revered the Bible, albeit with some significant edits. However, the idea of believing in no cosmological or no axiological or no teleological or no ontological being would be a concept that our founding fathers would not just find foreign, they would find it extraordinarily dangerous. Why? Because the French Revolution was happening simultaneously as the American Revolution, which was explicitly atheist. They actually recreated their own gods and they said, we are going to appeal to what? The God of reason. And this is my final contention, is that when I talk to atheists, the French Revolution is a great example. They literally tried to change the Gregorian calendar to a 10-day week. They went and imprisoned people of faith. They put priests in jail, all these different sorts of things. And they said, we are going to appeal to the God of reason. Well, how did that work out? It worked out with the guillotine and the slaughter of tens of thousands of people. The French Revolution was one of the greatest disasters in human recorded history. Contrast that with the American Revolution. Why did the American Revolution create the greatest nation ever to exist in the history of the world? And the French Revolution resulted in a lot of blood and even the killing of their own once leader, Maximilien Robespierre. It's because we were anchored on Christian ideas. If you are not anchored on Christian ideas, then don't be surprised when all of a sudden there is no fruit to the harvest that you're trying to create.
I'm an atheist, so I disagree with your religious claims.
Do you believe in absolute truth?
I'm not sure you can provide me dispositive evidence that there is absolute truth. So the answer would be I'm not sure.
Are you absolutely not sure?
I'm not sure if I'm absolutely not sure. See, this works if you say no, but it doesn't work if you bottom out in the I don't know question.
Right, no, but saying you're not sure, you are not even sure if you're not sure. So at some point, you're just always have to make a truth claim, yeah?
No, you can just be not sure about everything all the way down. I don't see why you can't. And my answer would be I think truth is instrumentalist in theory. I think it's a thing we choose pragmatically. For the purposes of discussion, I think you can say, yeah, I think truth exists pragmatically. Regardless of that, I don't see how you get to God.
Are you alive?
Huh?
Are you alive?
I think I'm alive, yeah.
Think you're alive?
Yeah.
Is the sun shining?
I think it's shining, yeah. From my frame of reference, it is shining. Notice how none of this... notice how you've gotten no steps closer to proving God.
No, I'm asking questions, man.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but...
Are you sure we did it?
Yeah,
Are you sure we
I'm
didn't
sure
get
in the
close to God?
I'm sure in the pragmatic
How
instrumentalist
sure
sense.
are you that we didn't?
In the pragmatic instrumentalist sense, absolutely sure. I see truth as a utility.
So there is a truth that's absolute.
No, it's instrumentally
But you
true.
just said it was absolute.
No, absolutely sure in the instrumentalist sense of the word truth. This is a philosophical tradition that dates back hundreds of years, instrumentalism.
Yeah, which of course we don't subscribe to.
Obviously,
So
yeah.
do you believe that murder is objectively wrong?
Epistemologically objective or ontologically objective?
Morally.
See, you didn't answer the question, but either...
Both epistemologically and ontologically. But for the purpose of discussion,
Okay, so by what you mean, no, I don't think it's objective.
was Hitler a bad person objectively?
No, if you mean by... By the way,
Tread slowly.
No, but he's being honest. At
Wait.
its core, atheists cannot say that Hitler was bad.
Can I make the claim now? Notice who here is relying on feelings and not facts. Your argument is, I feel that Hitler was objectively
No,
wrong.
I know.
No, you feel that way. Can you provide me evidence of how you know? Can you provide me evidence that morality is objective?
No, of course I can. Because,
Okay.
well, first of all, morality is both reason and revelation, and it's built within us that murder is wrong. Yeah.
Wait, okay, where's your evidence of that?
Wait, I'm so
Well,
sorry.
again,
I
Is
got-
that that's a claim, not evidence. That's a claim.
Okay, we could spend multiple hours, but in the Western tradition,
So notice how you're
No, hold
saying
on.
by tradition, by
hold
the
on.
standards,
But
by
I
these
just
are
wanna-
all claims of non-truth value.
Hold on, yes they are. We believe that truth was revealed to us
We believe, claim.
by God. Hold on, but let me. We can
Claim.
get there. You can keep on interrupting us.
Okay, keep
but
going.
But let me prove to you how silly your viewpoint is.
Okay.
And how self-evidently wrong.
Okay.
Is it objectively wrong to kids?
When you say objective, what I mean by objective. Once again.
Dude,
No,
can I ask you
but-
something?
but-
No.
Wait,
Notice how you still haven't given me dispositive evidence that morality is objective. You're merely
May I
saying,
say something?
my answer is, I feel that way. Sure, I feel that way.
No,
That's all I can
it's
know.
It's objectively wrong to the laws of nature.
What law of nature?
The self-evident nature of existence.
Where's your proof that it's self-evident? Show me the logical proof that it's self-evident.
Okay, it's in your reason that God gave you, and the consciousness
Prove
and the
that
soul
God
that
gave
you
it to
have.
me. Prove that God gave it to me.
Okay, but again, your existence is proof of that. You again, we can get back down to the first principles
So,
of this, but
We
again,
can, but you don't want to because you
No.
know it doesn't look good.
no, it looks actually really good because,
because you
built
can't
within
give evidence for it.
built
You-
within again, interrupting does not make you right.
But
So
you keep repeating your point. I
no,
get your
no,
point.
I don't. So let me ask you
Yeah,
a
you
question
do.
in closing. Since you can't objectively say that Hitler was bad or that child
Okay.
is wrong, so how did the universe come into existence?
I don't know.
Okay, but science says that it was a big bang or a beginning point, right?
Okay.
So using logic, which
Is
you
this
believe
is
in.
this the Kalam cosmological
well,
argument?
hold on.
Yeah.
Again, you keep interrupting. Using logic,
Uh-huh.
if space, time, and matter
Okay.
had a starting point,
Okay.
then logically, shouldn't something outside of space, time, and matter have started those things?
How do you know that cause is personal? How do you know that cause is worth praying to?
Hold
How
on,
do you know
that's not
anything?
that's not the
Wait,
question.
wait. Okay, sure, there is a cause.
Oh,
You don't
that
know-
cause is God because it's outside of space,
Wait,
time, and
no,
matter.
no. But you
by
believe,
definition,
you believe in different things about God. You think that God is personal.
that's not what we're debating.
No, we are arguing about God. We're arguing about
first of all,
Christian
we're debating
God.
is
Yeah,
there
religion.
Hold on, no, we're not debating it. We're debating whether or not there's a God or not.
No, the Christian God.
Then
I said religion. That you're a religious person.
you
You're
said-
a Christian in nature.
hold on, you said
You
you're an
follow a
atheist,
religious
man.
tradition.
Calm down. You said you're an atheist.
Wait, no. God historically, Aquinas even defines it this way: is a personal God. You still haven't gotten to me to prove that it's personal.
I'm happy to get to that.
Okay, then get to it.
Look, here's what I find with atheists. They don't want to worship or acknowledge God because many atheists think they are God, and you embody that really well.
I didn't know you were a mind reader, Charlie. This is news to me.
It's not a mind reader.
Yeah, I didn't know
I
you were
could
a
tell
mind
by your
reader.
behavior. I will say this. I hope
Yeah.
that you give your life to Jesus Christ.
I
hope you do.
I hope you can find evidence. I hope you can find.
You know what's
evidence.
interesting? There is evidence. There is evidence that Jesus. Hold on. Last thing. Do you believe Jesus Christ was a real historical figure?
Yes.
Do you believe that the Gospels are historically accurate and we can prove them with archaeological evidence?
Some parts are. Some parts are metaphors. Some parts are allegories. Some parts are
So-
literal. It depends. Some parts are attempts at history.
Why-
It depends
why-
which book or gospel.
Using rational analysis, why would the disciples lie about the resurrection of Christ?
Okay, we can talk about this. People, they can be mistakenly wrong about it.
So they would be mistakenly wrong up to the point where they get martyred,
The whole point of
burned,
being
and crucified?
the whole point of being mistakenly wrong about something is you believe it's true.
All
so
the way
yes,
up until the point of death?
the whole point of being mistakenly wrong about something is you
I
believe
just want to make
it's
sure
true.
I understand your position. Your position is that the 12 disciples who knew Christ best saw him die, and then they all believed a mistaken conspiracy for the rest of their life?
Yes.
All of them together as
wait.
a conspiracy.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. There is no first-hand account from the 500. The
Well-
Gospels are all written by these people. People
no,
have
that's-
died for
hold on.
crazy claims in the past that we know aren't true.
First
These
of
are all facts about
That's
history.
not correct. Okay, one of the Gospels was written by one of his closest associates, Matthew the
One of
tax
them.
collector. Luke was a fact fighter that was
No,
hired
no,
by...
I didn't say the Gospels weren't written by them. I said there's no evidence from the 500 that he appeared to. There's no first-hand
Well,
accounts.
again, that's not correct. Thank you for your time. We'll get to the next
Okay,
question.
you can not
Well,
answer.
we will pray for you. Thank you.